Today we arrive in the Principality of Monaco, which is definitely a fan and driver favourite. Having talked to the drivers, all of them point to this circuit being the one they most want to win at. Monaco provides a close quarters wheel-to-wheel challenge for the drivers, and even though it lacks overtaking opportunities, it does give us the glitz and the glamour that can only be provided by a location like Monte Carlo.
Monaco is the most prestigious track on the Formula One calendar. It's a circuit that's extremely popular amongst the fans around the world, and it's something really special. As a driver, there's nowhere to hide.
Lowe's hairpin is the slowest corner of any track on the Formula One calendar. It's taken at just 48 kilometers an hour, but provides a stunning view on the first lap as the entire grid bunches up and tiptoes through the corner, hoping not to leave any carbon fibre parts behind.
This is such a tight bend that a special steering rack is used just to get around this very corner, as the cars would not normally be able to make the turn. There is the possibility of overtaking through Lowe's, but more often than not, you'll end up damaging your car.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my F1 2015 career mode. Yes, we are in Monaco, the toughest track on the F1 calendar, the jewel of the F1 calendar, and one track that I really want to get my first win of this season at. Last time out in Spain, going to give you a couple of seconds just to pause this video if you haven't already watched that one. Okay, so last time out in Spain, we had quite a good race. We managed to come home in second. Unfortunately, we couldn't beat Lewis Hamilton. We did have a good chance of winning our first race this season, but unfortunately we're still going to have to wait for that. Hopefully it happens this time in Monaco. We're just going to have to wait and see. Nothing happened in practice, so we're going to go straight into the practice results and then straight into qualifying.
That's practice over and a successful session for Lewis Hamilton. He's bound to be pleased with the car's performance today. We're here in magical Monaco for this afternoon's qualifying session, which will be getting underway shortly. Qualifying will determine who'll sit on pole at this iconic track. These next few minutes could determine tomorrow's race result as well before it even starts. The driver on pole will be best placed to win the race, considering how difficult it is to overtake here.
Exactly. To be in with a decent chance of winning here, you need to be on the front row. Even a few places further back on the grid, and you've got to rely on a bit of good luck to come your way, as overtaking opportunities are very limited.
Here we go then, qualifying for the Monte Carlo Grand Prix, the most important qualifying session of the whole entire year. Whoever gets pole position here is very likely to go on and win the race tomorrow, so we really want pole position in order to get our first race win this season. Q1 and Q2 were really easy, so I managed to get into Q3 as soon as possible, just on one set of tyres in each one of those, so getting into Q3 was very easy. So let's have a look at our laps in Q3. So here we go then, coming round the final corner to complete our first lap in this Q3 session. What sort of time is it going to be? It's a 1:17.6. It's a fantastic lap, and hopefully that will secure us pole position. But we're going to have to wait and see to the end of the session. We'll come around for our second lap in this session. What sort of time is it going to be? Is it going to be an improvement on what we've just done? Yes, it is. It's a 1:17 dead. So we are definitely pole position for the time being. We're going to have to wait for all the other drivers to come across the lines. We're going to come across the line for what will be our final lap in this qualifying session. We lose the back end there, but what is the time going to be? It's a 1:16.8, and it would have been a lot faster had we not lost the back end. But still, we're on P1 for the Monaco Grand Prix.
It's been a day to remember for the Russian driver Daniil Kvyat, whose impressive track performance has given him the fastest lap of the day. It means now he starts on pole for tomorrow's race.
Well, both these drivers have been working hard with the team to ensure they get maximum performance out of the car, and it looks like they've found the right combination, at least in qualifying trim. Now, we need to see how they get on in the race.
So there we go, another pole position in this F1 2015 career mode, and we beat Nico Rosberg by 1 whole second. So what a fantastic qualifying session that was. Hopefully we can finally manage to convert a pole position into a race win, because we really need to get our first race win of the season. Nico Rosberg, as I said, was in second, then Sebastian Vettel in third. He had a 5 place grid penalty, not sure what happened there, but then Daniil Carlo is in fourth, who will go up into third. Felipe Massa is fifth, Lewis Hamilton sixth, Valtteri Bottas is seventh, Roman Grosjean is 8th. Nico Hülkenberg is in 9th. He's also got a 5 place grid penalty as well. And Kimi Räikkönen, somehow, the championship leader, is down in 10th position. But What can we do in the race? Can we get our first win of the season? Only time will tell. So let's head over to the Monaco Grand Prix.
Welcome to one of the most iconic race circuits on the Formula One calendar. It's Monaco, the playground of the rich and famous. Daniil Kvyat isn't known for letting his guard down. He's a confident young man, but sometimes difficult to read. Yet you could tell in his interviews after qualifying yesterday that he thinks victory is on the cards today. Considering he beat everyone to pole, well, you wouldn't want to bet against him realising his dream.
There are a lot of variables that can cause a driver to be happy with the car one day to struggling with it the next. Track temperature, excessive tyre wear, or a change of fuel load can all affect the feel of a car. He'll definitely be hoping that when the race gets underway, he's got the same balance as he enjoyed in qualifying.
It was a good win last time out for Lewis Hamilton, who will still be feeling buoyant going into today's race. He knows he's got the beating of the rest of the field as long as he doesn't hit any reliability issues with his Mercedes.
Well, Lewis can beat anyone on his day. His pace has been second to none at times. He just has a knack of finding those extra tenths which others can't. I'm expecting him to be particularly strong at the end of the stints today.
It's race time here in Monte Carlo. We are on the front of the grid. Let's have a look at the race strategy. So a one-stop strategy of this 78 lap race. Going to take about 102 minutes, so a very long race ahead of us, and it's going to be very difficult. 78 laps await of the barriers being right next to us, and it's 5 lights. And away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. And we've got off to a fairly decent start. Nico Rosberg is getting past us, but we have got the inside line and we can go straight back up into first position. That is the first time we've managed to maintain our spot into the first corner. And it looks like Daniil Carlo has followed us through for a Red Bull 1-2 at the moment. So Red Bull are on 1-2 at the moment in this race. So going through the first couple of corners, looking fairly decent, but Daniil Carlo is quite close behind us. But it is very hard to overtake here in Monaco, so if we can just keep it on the racing line, keep it out of the barriers, we should do an okay job for the rest of the race. Coming round towards the tunnel section now, and Daniil Carlo looking in our mirrors, he is still very much there, getting very close to the wall there but not touching it, using as much of the track as possible as we put it up into rich mix now to try and get away from Daniil Carlo as quick as we can and try and build that gap going in towards the Nouvelle chicane, and a very nice take through there, losing the back end ever so slightly but keeping it out of the barrier. Now through this left hand, it's very tricky here, and we have actually touched the wall and we are now facing the wrong way. We're going to have to wait for all of these drivers to get past us in order to avoid a collision. So we've got to wait for the Manners to go past. We're still waiting. The Manners are going past and now, so now we can reverse up, hitting the barrier there on the back, and now we can start to get away. But we have lost so much time to the leaders, and we have got 20 drivers in between us and Daniil Ricciardo to try and get this win, get our first win of the season. It's going to be difficult, but let's see what we can do, as we're already on the back of Roberto Merri at the beginning of lap 3. Can we get a move done up the outside? No, we're not. We're going to have to wait until, looks like we've got a much better exit going up the inside in towards this next corner, and that is a fairly easy move there on Roberto Merri to go up into P19. Up next for us is Will Stevens, and we'll be looking to get past him in the next couple of laps. And it's the mid stage of lap 3 now, looking like Stevens is right up in front of us. Maybe go up the inside here. We try it. There's not enough room there, but we're just squeezing Will Stevens against the wall. He budges against it. There's not much room here in Monaco, but we still managed to get P18 from him there. Up next for us is Felipe Nasr. Can we get him into the same sort of section that we got Roberto Merri? Doesn't look like it, but it's lap 4. We are in the tunnel at the moment. Coming down towards the Nouvelle chicane. Are we going to go up the inside? We're going to try it. Up the inside of Felipe Nasr, keeping on the outside, side by side through the Nouvelle chicane. If we've made that move stick, yes we have, and that is an absolute fantastic move to go round the outside of Felipe Nasr at the Nouvelle chicane, and you need some big balls to go up the inside there. So up next is Marcus Ericsson. Will we try the same sort of move that we did on Felipe Nasr? On the same car, on the Sauber, going up the inside yet again. Now we get the outside for the Nouvelle chicane, then we get the inside for the second part, and we are up into P16. But we tap him, he goes into our rear wheel, and it nearly loses our back end, but we managed to maintain, and we maintain in 16th place. We are right on the back of a big train of cars now, going all the way up to, I believe, 11th place. Jenson Button is the driver up next for us, so we'll be trying the same sort of move of the inside of the Nouvelle chicane on Jenson Button, this time on lap 6. Here we go, under braking now. Looks like we've made the move stick before we've even got there. No, looks like Jenson Button has tapped us and he's spun us around. Hopefully we get a replay of that to actually see what happened, but Marcus Ericsson gets back past us for 15th place. Here we go, a replay. We got the inside of the Novell chicane. Jenson Button just sort of takes too much. He doesn't back out of it. Clips our rear right tyre. And unfortunately puts us in a spin. Here's an onboard from Jenson Button. Yeah, so he just clips our rear right tyre and unfortunately puts us into a spin, losing us a bit of a time to that train of cars that we were catching up to. But now we've got to get back past Marcus Ericsson. Maybe up the inside here. No, we just go way too late on the brakes. And again, bumping into the back of Marcus Ericsson. We're really fighting him here. Maybe we'll try around the outside of Raskas. Doesn't look like it. We tried the cutback, but we just got on the power a bit too late, unfortunately. But now we've got the DRS on Marcus Ericsson. For some reason, not opening it. Opening it right at the end there, but then we had to brake. So unfortunately, we didn't get the DRS. We probably could have overtaken him, but it looks like we had a much better exit into turn 1. But the drive out of that Sauber seems to be much more powerful than this Red Bull. Maybe try and round the outside of the casino section, and it looks like we've made the move stick. That is a great move. Round the outside and then the inside for the right hand, and we are up into P15 once again. And up next for us is Nico Hulkenberg, who we are on the back of on the midway stage of lap 9. Are we going to go up the inside in towards the Novell chicane? No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like we're just backing out of it. Maybe up the inside. It looks like Hulkenberg had a bad exit, so we had a little look up there, but unfortunately not enough room, and Hulkenberg had a good drive out of that corner on us, so we won't be getting past him there. But maybe have a look in towards the second part of the swimming pool. No, it doesn't look like we're going to get in there, so maybe we're just going to have to try in towards Raskas. Here we go, maybe up the inside. We're going to stick our nose in, getting very close. Unfortunately, banging again with Nico Hulkenberg, just because it's so tight round here in Monaco. But we do manage to get P14 from him, and that is a great move there. So Carlo Sainz is up next, and it's lap 10, the midway stage of lap 10, and we're going to try the same sort of move that we have done so many times, surely. Up the inside of the Novell chicane. No, we don't. We just sort of back out of it. Looks like Carlos Sainz just gave us the room. He's really slow out of the Novell chicane, unfortunately, so that puts us into the back of him. Nearly put him into the wall, but both drivers managed to get away as we get very close to that left-hand wall there, which clipped us on the first lap. So Carlos Sainz Jr., he is the driver up next. We're going to try and move up Raskas, maybe. No, we just think better of it. No, we don't. We still stick our wheel in there, and how we didn't touch, I don't know. We managed to touch with Nico Hulkenberg, but we didn't manage to touch with Carlos Sainz Jr. Maybe we're getting better at the move through Raskas, but now we've got the DRS on Carlos Sainz. But it doesn't look like we're able to catch up on the sister team cars. Looks like we get a very good exit out of turn 1. Will he have better drive in the Toro Rosso? Yes, he does. So we're just going to have to hold back and maybe go around the outside of the casino section, which we do. Round the outside, and will we get the move done before the right-hander? Yes, we do. We've even got the move done before we go into that right hand, and that is a very easy move. So up next is Max Verstappen, and it's lap 12 here now in Monaco. Good drive out of turn 1, so we are right on the back of Max Verstappen to try and move around the outside of this casino section, just like we did on his teammate, going side by side, running it a bit wider, but now we'll get the inside into this next right-hander, and Max Verstappen gives us the room, and we're up into P12. So up next for us is Sergio Perez, and we're going to follow him through the next couple of corners and try and look for an opportunity for a move. There's not much opportunity here through the hairpin. It's very tight here, and if you go in for a move, you're most likely going to lose a front wing in there, so don't really want to do that. In this lap 13, looks like we've had another good drive out of turn 1 to put us right on the back of Sergio Perez. Doesn't look like we're going to get past there through the straight line speed. Banging on the wall and going now round the outside of the casino section side by side into this right-hander. And yet again, the driver gives us the room. Fair play to Sergio Perez there, but we have taken P11. And up next for us is Fernando Alonso as we lock up and nearly go into that wall. And that allows Sergio Perez just to catch up to us, but not allow him to get past. So, right on the back of Fernando Alonso, going in towards Raskas. Can we make a move up the inside? Yes, we do. Side by side with Fernando Alonso, getting so close to the barrier, so close to Fernando Alonso. How we didn't touch there, but that was an absolute brilliant move. You will not see a better move in this Grand Prix, surely, than that on Fernando Alonso, side by side with him, not touching the barrier, not touching Fernando Alonso. That is absolutely fantastic. But up next for us is Pastor Maldonado. Could be quite tricky to get a move on him, knowing his reputation, but we're going to try it surely round the outside here like we've done so many times before. Looks like we've got a better drive out of that corner. Maybe got the inside. No. Yes, we do. Pastor Maldonado gives us the room there on the inside, so we take it. Now we get the inside towards this right-hander before the hairpin, and looks like we've already made the move done before we've even got there. So we are now into P9, back in the points and hunting down Sebastian Vettel, who is in P8. As we clip the barrier there, but very lucky not to lose our front wing as we are now right on the back of Sebastian Vettel. It's lap 18 60 laps to go of this race still, and in towards the Novo chicane, and we are still right behind Sebastian Vettel, catching him up just a little bit through there, but we were too far back to even consider going for a move. As we're now going through the first part of the swimming pool and then into the second part of the swimming pool, and it looks like we've had a very good under braking on Sebastian Vettel and a good drive out of the corner. Maybe try the same sort of move that we do on Fernando Alonso. Yes, we did. Sebastian Vettel on the prime tyres, side by side through there, but Sebastian Vettel gets a better drive, but under braking in towards the final corner, we get the move done. We are into P8, and that is another brilliant move here in Monaco, but Sebastian Vettel will get the DRS. Will he go up the outside in towards turn 1? We look up, we hold the inside line, and we are back into P8, and up next for us is Kimi Räikkönen, the World Championship leader. So lap 20 here, and we're right on the back of Kimi Räikkönen with a good drive through turn 1. He's on the prime tyres as well, just like his teammate, but with a better drive in that Ferrari, he manages to power on. Maybe try and move around the outside here in towards the casino section. Hopefully get the inside line towards this next corner, which we do, and we are up into P7 with another fantastic move there. Up next for us is Romain Grosjean. We're going to try and stick it behind him, try and stay behind him all the way through the tunnel, and hopefully make a move in towards the Novo chicane, as we are still right on his gearbox. Going in towards this right-hander now, and then into the tunnel. We need a good drive out this corner if we can manage to stay behind him, which we do. Putting it up into Rich Mix to try and stay behind him all the way through the tunnel. Won't get a move here, but maybe up the inside, which we do. Can we keep it though? Romain Grosjean keeping the inside line, but we're going to squeeze ourselves right against the barrier, but unfortunately Romain Grosjean with the better drive out of that Lotus manages to maintain P6 for the time being. So we might have to wait until the next lap, as we may be going right up the inside. No, we don't. We're back out of it in towards the second part of the swim pool, but now we're going to try around the outside of Raskas. No, we don't. Trying the cutback now, getting very close to the barrier. It looks like we've had a good drive out of the corner, up the inside into the final corner, squeezing him out, and we are up into P6 with another brilliant move here in Monaco. Right on the back of Valtteri Bottas now. It's lap 24, so it took us a couple of laps just to try and catch up to Valtteri Bottas, but we are right on his tail now. Maybe try and move up the inside of the Novo chicane. Looked like Bottas locked up, and we've hit our rear end on the barrier there. That's a very unfortunate mistake for us, as we're going to lose so much time to Valtteri Bottas. Very fortunate though not to lose a place to Kimi Räikkönen, the driver behind us. Otherwise we'd have to do the overtake that we did on him all over again. It's been 5 laps now, and we have managed to catch up to Valtteri Bottas once again with another good drive out of turn 1. We're right on his gearbox yet again. Can we go around the outside in towards the casino section? We've made that move so many times this race already. Looks like we're getting a good drive round there side by side. Now get the inside line in towards this right-hander, and we are up into P5 with Lewis Hamilton, the driver, who is up next for us. As we are now right behind Lewis Hamilton, going in towards the tunnel with a good drive out of this corner. Looks like he is on the prime tyres, just like the Ferraris were. So we will get a good speed from these option tyres. Maybe going up the inside into the Novo chicane. No, just looks like we're way too far back, trying to stay away from that barrier, but maybe go up the inside, because Lewis Hamilton has had a bad exit, but then he gets a good drive from that Mercedes powered car. Now going into the left-hander, and Lewis Hamilton is still ahead of us as we cut ahead to lap 32. Right behind Lewis Hamilton, right on his gearbox, going into this left-hander, maybe going around the outside and then into the inside. Looks like we've had a very good drive out of the second part, so close to Lewis Hamilton there, and then we just sort of force him out wide, and we managed to get up into P4 with Felipe Massa, the guy who is up next, and that is the spot on the podium. So, managing to go all the way down to lap 20, P20, and now after 32 laps, we are trying to challenge for a podium position. It has been an absolute fantastic Monaco Grand Prix so far. We just got to wait and see what it has in store for us as we put up into Rich Mix, going in towards the Novo chicane, maybe going up the inside. Yes, we do, up the inside of Felipe Massa, locking up just a little bit, but managing to keep it out of the barriers. We go into the back of Felipe Massa and nearly put him into the barrier there, and Lewis Hamilton caught up quite a bit, but luckily for us, he didn't go for the overtake. So we're on the back of Felipe Massa yet again. It's lap 33. We've had a very good exit out of turn 1. But the straight line speed of that Williams will allow him to get away just a little bit, but we are very fast through this casino section as we're going to go around the outside. Surely getting very close to his wheel, but now we're going to get the inside line for this right-hander, and we are up into the podium positions with Nico Rosberg and then our teammate Daniil Ricciardo, the drivers who are up next. They're quite a bit down the road, and it's taken us a couple of laps just to catch up to him, but it's lap 35. We are right on the back of Nico Rosberg now, trying the same sort of move that we did on Lewis Hamilton. Maybe going around the outside of here, surely not. Yeah, we just back out of it. It's not an easy move to go round the outside there, so we just back out of it. And now going in towards the second part of the swim pool, our engineer just telling us that we are pitting this lap. It's lap 35, so we will be pitting this lap, and I believe because both these drivers are number 2 drivers that we will be coming in. Yes, so they're not coming in. We are coming in for our pit stop. What sort of time is it going to be, though? It's a 2.3, and we managed to come out just before Felipe Massa comes in for his pit stop, so he didn't hold us up any time there. We're going to come out of the pit lane and then try and hammer in times on these prime tyres, as we are on the same set of tyres as Nico Rosberg. So we need to put in better laps than him to try and catch him up and get the undercut on him. But he will be pitting on this lap surely. That's a good drive out of the pit lane. Nothing too bad there. We're going to go up towards the casino section. It's lap 36. Still got a long way to go in this Monaco Grand Prix. On the cold tyres, just managing to go a little bit wide, but we're now cutting ahead to lap 36. These drivers are in the pits now. Looks like Daniil Carlo is coming out, and we managed to get the jump on him. And it's Kimi Räikkönen up ahead, and then I believe Nico Rosberg. Yes, because Nico Rosberg is on the prime tyres, so he will not be pitting on this lap. He has a long way to go. As Will Stevens hitting the barrier, trying to let us through there. The AI are really dumb here in trying to let drivers through. They just like to, you know, drive alongside the barrier. But we are right behind Kimi Räikkönen now. He's on the same tyres as us as we lock up into this right-hander. Now we're going in towards the hairpin. There'll be no room for an overtake here, but we're going to try and keep it right behind him and then try and get a good drive out through the tunnel and then try and get him into the no-bill chicane as we go through this right-hander now in towards the tunnel section. Looks like Kimi Räikkönen has had a bad exit, but we've had to lift off because we were just too close behind him going into the tunnel. Now coming out of the tunnel, the light will blind you as you go up the inside in towards the no-bill chicane. Now around the outside, managing to hold it, keep it away from the barriers, and we are up into P3 once again on Kimi Räikkönen, the World Championship leader. He is still right on our gearbox though, but it doesn't look like there is any room to make a move as we are right on the back of Lewis Hamilton on lap 42. So it's taken us a couple of laps just to catch up to him, but we are right on his tail now. Maybe go up the inside of the no-bill chicane on Lewis Hamilton. Yes, we do. Keeping it round the outside now. Will he get a good drive out of the corner though? We're side by side going in towards this left-hander. Surely we're going to back out of it, which we do, because you cannot go too wide through there. Surely not. As we go through the first part of the swim pool section. Now going up the inside of the swim pool section, but overshooting it. We have to let back Lewis Hamilton through, which we do there. So Lewis Hamilton back into P2 as we made a mistake. Went too deep into that second part of the swim pool corner. And now we are right on the back of him yet again on the next lap. Going in towards the tunnel. We need a good drive out of this corner like we did on Kimi Räikkönen, which we do. Losing the back end ever so slightly though. So that will compromise us just a little bit, but we go through the right-hander of the tunnel now in towards the no-bill chicane. Want to break a lot later than Lewis Hamilton, which we do. He is on our inside though. We've got to be aware of that as we get very close to the barrier, but we are back up into P2, and that is a great move round through the no-bill chicane on Lewis Hamilton. And our engineer telling us we made it look easy, but that is only because we've made that move so many times this race. As we are now on the back of Nico Rosberg. It's lap 44, so the end of the next lap, and Nico Rosberg is coming in for his scheduled pit stop. So as we will go back up into the lead of this Grand Prix, it's only taken us 44 laps to get back here, but it has been very difficult with so many overtakes, but it's also been absolutely fantastic driving. As we're now on lap 45 here.
15 minutes till we expect the heavy rain to arrive.
So 15 minutes and it is going to be raining, so that's going to definitely mix up the race, as in recent races we've not been too good in the rain. Hopefully this race will be different. We can try and maintain P1, but we're going to have to wait and see for that. As we are now on lap 49 here.
Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track.
So there's a yellow flag. Looks like there's an incident down in towards the no-bill chicane. Pastor Maldonado has just sort of beached it on the no-bill chicane. Hopefully he'll get moving again for the sake of his race, but that's going to lose him so many positions, and now we've got past that. As we are now on the end of lap 49, and you can see now the rain is starting to come down. It's only light at the moment, so there is no need to go onto the intermediate tyres next lap, but we'll be aware of the rain, and when it starts to come down properly, it'll be time for the intermediate tyres.
Okay, we'll fit inters on your next stop.
As we now select the intermediate tyres just to be ready for when we have to come in, because it'll be a lot trickier to try and switch it right at the last minute, as we are now on lap 52. It's definitely getting wetter, which we actually do. For some reason, we decide to switch to select the intermediate tyres there, meaning we locked up into the second part of the swim pool and went into the barrier. I don't think we actually damaged our front wing, as it looks like we've hit the barrier yet again, but now we're going to come in. I'm not sure if this is too early. It doesn't look that wet. Let's have a look if the other drivers aren't pitting either. So this might be a little bit too early, but it might also be a great strategy call. We're just going to have to wait and see how these tyres work for us. Just looking through the temperatures, and they are all obviously going to be cold because we've just put them on. Hopefully they can get up to temperature, but not too hot. Otherwise that's when, and then we go into the barriers. So hopefully didn't damage our front wing there. I don't think we did. As we looked at the damage, it didn't look like there was anything, but we are now behind Lewis Hamilton, who leads this Monaco Grand Prix. So somehow, somewhere, he has got past Nico Rosberg as we put it up into rich mix to try and hammer in some good laps on these intermediate tyres. Going a little bit wide. Our engineer telling us that it looks like it's safe to stay on the Inter, but we are weaving all over the place at the moment. So maybe it's not. Maybe we've come in just a little bit too early. As you can just always hear, our tyres are squealing, just locking up ever so slightly. Now going in towards this right-hander, and it looks like we're quite slow. Looks like Lewis Hamilton is getting away from us. Only time will tell, though, whether these tyres are right at the moment. But the weather is definitely getting worse. These tyres are going to be coming to us, and we have banged into the wall yet again.
Minor damage to the front wing. Be easy on the car till we get it repaired. We don't want to risk making this worse.
So I was going to say there, hopefully we haven't had any damage, but unfortunately our engineer telling us that we have. And now we go on to the full wet, and we've gone straight into the barrier, lost our whole entire front wing. So now we're definitely going to have to come into the pits. It was only minor damage before, so we didn't actually have to come into the pits. But now we're selecting wet tyres because if we came in for the inters, we would be in P2. So we're going to take a gamble. We're going to come in for the full wets and hope that the rain starts to come down tremendously. But unfortunately, after so many good laps, unfortunately we have got some damage on our front wing. Coming in for what is going to be a slow pit stop now. It looks like Daniil Carlo is also coming in, so unfortunately we're going to be holding him up as well. But now we're going to be coming out for an 8-second pit stop. Looks like two Saubers coming in right behind each other. They're going to have to stack up, unfortunately. Looks like it was Ericsson who is at the back, so he's going to get held up, like Daniil Carlo has done for me. Unfortunately for him there. But now these wet tyres, they're not looking too bad coming out of the pit lane. Let's just listen if we lock up at all. Doesn't look like we've locked up at all there. So maybe they're working for us a little bit, but we lose the back end ever so slightly coming out of the pits. Now going towards the casino section, locking up ever so slightly, and just seems very slow coming through this right-hander. Losing the back end ever so slightly there, just getting down on the power a bit too early and putting our foot all the way down. So that's what made us our back end come out. It looks like there's a driver behind us as we've gone into the barrier yet again. Have we got any damage? So we have got damage, but it's only minor at the moment, so it's nothing too bad to really worry about. It's going to affect us a tiny bit, but it's not going to be enough to come into the pits as we now go into turn 1. As we hit the barrier yet again, I don't think we've got any damage. No, they're just confirming that damage on the inside. And it looks like a Sauber has tried to unlap himself on us and then gone into the side of us and has put us into the wall. I don't know what he was doing there. There was no room to go up the inside. He decided to take it anyway, pushed us into the wall, and unfortunately for us, we've lost our front wing. Now we've got Valtteri Bottas right behind us, who's gone into the back of us, and we've now overshot that corner because Valtteri Bottas went into the back of us. We're going to have to reverse up, but obviously not all the way to come back onto the track. Spin the back end by revving it in first gear, and now we come out in 8th position at the moment with Sebastian Vettel ahead of us. Nico Rosberg, who was leading the race earlier, is now down in 9th position, so I'm not sure what has happened to him. We're now going to be coming through these next set of corners, and it's going to be a real struggle because I don't think it's ready for wet tyres yet, but we've also lost our front wing. So 2 negatives there in our race, having to slow down through the tunnel, but still managing to hit the wall. Lucky not to get a puncture there. Under braking, no we're not. We're going to lap 55 now. The end looks like we're going to be coming into the pits, which we do. We've got a driver on our inside. It was Nico Rosberg, but fortunately for us, we don't hit him, as Daniil Carlo has just come into the pits. So that's going to hold us up a little bit as the team get ready to for us, as we're now going to put on another set of full wet tyres, and we're going to be down in 9th position. So we're going to have to do all those overtakes over again. which is a disaster for us. After leading this race, I said the wet weather would shake up the race, but I didn't think it would be this bad. We're down in 9th position. Hopefully we can get a good drive on these wet tyres and try and catch up and get back into the lead of this Grand Prix. But there is only 22 laps left to go, so there's not a lot of time to do it, and we've got quite a gap up ahead to Sebastian Vettel, but looks like they are trying to get through lapped drivers. It looks like Daniil Carlo is maybe leading this race yet again. I'm not too sure. It could be Valtteri Bottas, but Felipe Nasr is right in front of us as he decides to let us through. Hopefully we get a move done before we get into the inside, which we do. And there is a yellow flag up ahead, so I'm not sure what has happened here. Hopefully it's the driver that we are trying to overtake. No, it's Roberto Merri, but it's definitely held up everyone as we're going to try and move up the inside of Sebastian Vettel. No, we won't, because there's still a yellow flag. Now it's green flag, so we can overtake yet again. Maybe try and look for a move on Sebastian Vettel anytime soon, as Felipe Massa looks like he got caught up in that instant. Maybe he's going to be coming into the pits, which he does. He turns into Sebastian Vettel, and I don't think he actually come into the pit lane. I'm looking at the mini-map, and it looks like he's stuck at the last corner. I'm not sure if he has come into the pit lane, so I'm not sure what's happened to him yet, but it won't matter for us as we managed to get a position very easily, and now we are on the back of Sebastian Vettel. But the weather is atrocious at the moment that you can hardly really see, especially a track like Monaco. You don't want weather like this. We're going to try round the inside into this right-hander, which we managed to make it stick in these wet conditions. We can still overtake, and we are up into P7 with Nico Rosberg, the driver, in front of us in P6 at the moment. It looks like Romain Grosjean is just ahead of him, so hopefully we can try and get those two drivers in the same couple of corners. As we cut ahead to lap 59, we lose the back end coming out of Raskas, going into the final corner. We are now on the back of Nico Rosberg and Romain Grosjean, so hopefully we can get an overtake on those two very soon as Lewis Hamilton comes out of the pits from the lead of this Grand Prix. He comes out of the pits, maybe he had a collision with Felipe Massa, who's finally managed to come into the pit lane. He's down in 17th, and Lewis Hamilton, when he came out of the pits, got very close to us, but that is a brilliant news for us as we are now back up into P6 with Nico Rosberg just ahead of us in P5. Maybe try and move on him as soon as possible. Going into the second part of the swim pool section, looks like there is a lapped car ahead of us. It's Marcus Ericsson. Maybe try up the inside of Raskas. We try it side by side with Nico Rosberg. He taps the wall ever so slightly, going wheel to wheel, and now maybe get the inside into this final corner, which we do, and that is a fantastic move up the inside there, and we are up into P5 yet again with Romain Grosjean, the driver, up next, which we are now right on the back of on lap 61. He's got Marcus Ericsson ahead of him, so that has held him up massively and definitely gone into our favour. We will go around the outside of Marcus Ericsson. Romain Grosjean has slowed down for some reason. We've gone into him, and unfortunately we've got damage to our front wing, but luckily it's nothing too bad as now Marcus Ericsson just parks it in the middle of the track, and unfortunately we can't get past him, so that allows Nico Rosberg to get back past us. We've lost two positions there really, as we could have had a move on Romain Grosjean if we had just gone to the right, but unfortunately there we have not managed to get an overtake on him, and we've lost position to Nico Rosberg, all thanks to Marcus Ericsson letting us through at the worst possible time.
After which we should see a transition to light rain.
So this heavy rain will last about 15 minutes, then it'll go into light rain, so that will come around the end of the race, so hopefully just in time for us to go on to options, because we are really fast on the option tyres. We are now right behind Nico Rosberg, trying up the inside into the second part of the swim pool. Maybe a bit impatient there, but we're going to have to let past Nico Rosberg yet again. I'm not sure if we've got any damage, but now we've got Sebastian Vettel right on our tail. We're right on the gearbox of Nico Rosberg, as just confirmation there that Valtteri Bottas is leading this Monaco Grand Prix. So we kind of head to lap 65. The weather is getting slightly better, but not enough, because as you can see we locked up there on the wet tyres. That might be because they're starting to come away from us, but luckily for us we don't lose a place and we don't gain any positions on Nico Rosberg to have to let him back. As we now cut ahead to lap 67, we're still sort of catching up to Nico Rosberg a little bit. Maybe through this casino section, he's getting held up by Romain Grosjean yet again, which is brilliant news for us. Going into this right-hander, getting very close and having to correct it on the wheel there. Now going in towards this right-hander, which leads onto the hairpin. There's a yellow flag up ahead. Not sure what's happened here. We're just going to have to wait and see, as it looks like it's a Ferrari. It's Kimi Raikkonen, the championship leader, has beached it in the wall at the hairpin. Unfortunately, there's not enough room to get past, so we couldn't get a move on Romain Grosjean. Nico Rosberg and Romain Grosjean, really. But we haven't managed to lose a position. But we did manage to gain a position on Kimi Raikkonen, who was, I believe, in 3rd position and is now all the way down in, I don't know, but he has been overtaken. Looks like on the minimap he's still holding up drivers, and finally on lap 69 the driver has been removed. I'm not sure if he's in the pit lane at the moment. We're locking up massively. We're going to have to lift off through the Novo chicane, so that's lost us a little bit of time to Nico Rosberg because we locked up and had to cut it. So our engineer telling us there that we will be okay to go onto the intermediate tyres this lap. Will we listen to him? We're going to have to wait and see. But there is only 8 laps really left to go in this race, as it looks like everyone is coming into the pit. So we're going to be coming in for the intermediate tyres and hopefully get a jump on Nico Rosberg and Roman Grosjean in the pit lane. Come on, you Red Bull boys. Let's get a good pit stop. Doesn't look like it. Looks like Daniil Ricciardo came in on the same lap. It's a 4-second pit stop. So unfortunately there, because Daniil Ricciardo came in on the same lap, we didn't get a jump on him. Roman Grosjean has been overtaken by Nico Rosberg. So that is also a disaster for us. But we're going to need to hammer in these laps now to try and catch up to Valtteri Bottas, who leads this race, and try and challenge for the win. We're going to be coming out of the pit lane. Looks like the drivers may have colder tyres. Well, the tyres are all the same, but the AI drivers are not as good on the cold tyres as I am, as we might try and look around the outside here on Roman Grosjean. Looks like we're getting a good drive out of the corner, but now Roberto Merri is up next, the lap car, so it looks like he's going to be holding Roman Grosjean up a bit, but he's also not going to allow me a way to get through, as Roman Grosjean brakes way too much for that corner to allow Roberto Merri on the outside, and unfortunately that pushed Roberto Merri into the wall, so he's lost his front wing, but he is right at the back of the grid, so it's not really going to worry to anyone apart from Roberto Merri really. So Roman Grosjean is up next. We're going to try and have to overtake him in the next couple of corners as we're going through the tunnel now. 8 laps to go of this race. We are in 5th position. We've got Roman Grosjean and Nico Rosberg in our sights. We'll be trying to get past them as soon as possible through the Novo chicane and then in towards the left-hander before the swim pool section. As it looks like Roman Grosjean going very slowly through there. We caught him up a little bit, going through the swim pool section, catching him up here, maybe go up the inside into the second part, which we do, locking up a bit, but that is a great move up the inside towards the second part of the swimming pool, and we are up into P4 with Nico Rosberg, the driver, up next. Then it's Daniil Ricciardo, our teammate, and then finally it's Valtteri Bottas who leads the Grand Prix. It might take us a couple of laps to overtake Nico Rosberg, which it has, because we are now on lap 73, so 3 laps there. We are now right on the back of Nico Rosberg. He has a lap driver ahead of him, so hopefully Carlo will hold him up, but looks like we're going in for the dry tyres. Looks like it's drying up a little bit, but maybe we're going a bit early, but we have to take a gamble if we want to get the win on this Grand Prix. We're going to have to wait and see if it was the right call. If it wasn't, it would be a disaster, because that will allow people like Hamilton and Vettel to get past us, as Hamilton already has. But will Sebastian Vettel get past us? Doesn't look like it, because there looks like there's quite a bit of a gap between the next driver coming through Raskas, if that is Sebastian Vettel. Not too sure, as we managed to go into the barrier, but fortunately for us that is no damage there. So coming out through this second straight here, going up the hill and then in towards the casino section. Looks like the tyres are okay. Maybe it's a bit too wet. There is slightly a dry line, as you can see there. So they might start to come to us in the next couple of laps, but hopefully the gamble pays off, as it's lap 76. 2 laps left to go of this Grand Prix. Lots of drivers in the pit lane here, and Daniil Ricciardo is also in the pit lane. Can we get a good drive out of turn 1? Yes, we do, and we are up into P2, so the gamble paid off. We now have Roberto Merri, who we are going to get past very easy, just give him the room. It looks like he went into the side of us, so unfortunately that spun him around, but we won't really matter too much. We got Max Verstappen, then I believe it's Alonso, and then Raikkonen, and then up ahead of that it's Valtteri Bottas with 2 laps to go. Max Verstappen, we need to get past him as soon as possible. No, don't let me through here. This is not a good place to overtake. We're going to have to try and go around the outside, as Max Verstappen letting me through at one of the worst possible times. We had to get squeezed. We lost a little bit of time there, but not enough to compromise this race, so we can still try and challenge for the race win as we're going through the tunnel. Up next is Fernando Alonso, so we're trying to get past him probably around the swim pool section on that straight there where we got past Roman Grosjean. Now going through this right-hander, we're right on the back of Fernando Alonso. Please don't let me through here either. He goes to the left, hits the wall, goes to the right, and then cut back to the left. And we have lost our front wing thanks to Fernando Alonso letting us through at the worst possible time. And now we've got a penalty. Just to you know, put the cherry on top of the cake. They've given us a penalty for, you know, I don't even know. I'm done. Codemasters, I am done. F1, I'm done. Unfortunately, they're losing our front wing in Fernando Alonso because he let us through at the worst possible time. The AI are just stupid when it comes to letting me through and letting other drivers as well. That's why there have been a few accidents in this race. But then the penalty for corner cutting, because there was nowhere else to go and I was lapping a lapped car. So that should not have been a penalty there, but unfortunately that is our race done. We're not going to be challenging for the lead of this Grand Prix, and I really do think I could have got Valtteri Bottas with 1 lap to go. I was looking very fast on these option tyres. I just had to get past Kimi Räikkönen, which I reckon I could have done round the start, finished straight, and then got Valtteri Bottas towards the end of the lap, hopefully. I really do think I could have done it, but now we've got to try and defend from all these other drivers, like Daniil Ricciardo is behind us, then it's Nico Rosberg. Without a front wing, we've got to try and defend as much as we possibly can and try and hopefully build a 3-second gap to some of these drivers. Hopefully Daniil Ricciardo, our teammate, can try and hold them off a little bit, but I don't think he'd do that as they want to try and get second place, even though if he stays within 3 seconds, he's going to get it anyway. Looking up in towards the Nobel chicane there, losing us a little bit of time, but looks like we've got 2 drivers going side by side behind us. Hopefully they hold each other up so we can try and get a good exit. There's our front wing on the track as we're going through the first part of the swim pool, then the second part of the swim pool. Bottas is going to come across the line any time now. There we go. So Valtteri Bottas is our race winner. We've got Daniil Ricciardo in third. No, Nico Rosberg has now overtaken Daniil Ricciardo. So this race is going from bad to worse for the Red Bull team. We're going to come across the line for what will be second. We're going to have to wait and see where we come after the penalty.
Well done to Valtteri Bottas, who's won today's race. Congratulations to him and the Williams team for a fantastic performance.
It was a fantastic performance and one that they should be very proud of. Every part of the team pulled together to achieve today's result.
It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time though, goodbye.
So there we go then. Valtteri Bottas wins this Monaco Grand Prix. It was a great result for him. Nico Rosberg comes home in second with Daniil Ricciardo, our teammate, in third. We were in fourth. Despite that 3-second time penalty, we still managed to stay in fourth position. So that's a good amount of points for us. But it's really disappointing to be challenging for the lead and maybe even getting the lead on the final lap. We could have done it. But unfortunately, going into Fernando Alonso, that is really bad for us. But Romain Grosjean comes home in 5th. Lewis Hamilton is in 6th. Sebastian Vettel in 7th. Fernando Alonso 8th. Sergio Perez 9th. And Jenson Button in 10th. So let's have a look at how these affect the drivers' standings. So Nico Rosberg is now our championship leader on 92 points, with Kimi Räikkönen going down to second, 4 points behind Nico Rosberg, with Lewis Hamilton in third, 9 points behind his teammate. Sebastian Vettel is in fourth. He's on 70 points, so we are only 6 points behind Sebastian Vettel, now challenging for fourth place. Daniil Ricciardo, our teammate, has managed to catch up the gap just a little bit by 3 points, and he is 61 points now, so he's 3 points behind us in this championship. Let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship now. So in the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes have now gone top on 175 points, overtaking Ferrari. We are still in third on 125, 50 points off the championship leaders. Thank you very much for watching this Monaco Grand Prix. Unfortunately, we didn't get our first race win of the season, but I hope you enjoyed all those overtakes at the beginning. Leave a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more F1 content. And I'll see you again, hopefully, for the Canadian Grand Prix, where we can really, hopefully, try and get our first win in this season. I really want to win that Canadian Grand Prix, and I think I've got a good chance. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.